Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Catherine Montoya. I'm the Government Documents Librarian for the New Mexico State Library. I'm joined today by Amy Schaefer, the Southwest Librarian for the New Mexico State Library. I wanted to just talk a little bit about what the New Mexico State Library is. We are a federal and state depository, so we collect government documents from both the federal and state agencies. We have documents going back in time to the late 1700s. We also have a great Southwest collection that Amy is in charge of, along with genealogical materials and other online resources in a small fiction section. With that in mind, I'm going to talk to you today about how to use our catalog, and I'm going to show you some government agency resources that would be helpful for your project. Now, while we're sharing our screens, we're going to turn off our video so that we don't have delay in service. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video and then start sharing my screen. Okay, hold on one second here. Okay, can you see my screen? Amy?
Yes, Katie, I can see it.
Okay, thank you.
I can see it.
Okay. So I'm going to start on our main page, which is nmstatelibrary.org. From this page, you can access all of our resources. So I'm going to talk to you about the catalog. Up here at the top on the navigation menu, you can go to our catalog that way. My preferred way, which is I feel more direct, is to just scroll down a little, and on the right-hand side is our catalog icon. And I just click on that, and it takes us to the landing page for our catalog. So from this page, you can do a keyword search, just like quick and simple, whatever term you want to use, and some people prefer that. I have developed the habit of going over here to the search menu down to advanced, so that if I need to, I can build a longer search query. So what you would do from here, I usually leave it on any field unless you know your title, author, etc. I just leave it on any field, and I leave it on keyword all. And then you would put in your first keyword. So in this case, we'll do climate change. One thing I wanted to point out here is that it starts to populate titles of things we already have in the catalog. So that's one way to see quickly what you might want to get, or something that maybe you typed in before, or something like that. But for right now, we'll just go climate change, and we'll click on the button go. You can hit enter, but sometimes enter doesn't work, so go is a sure thing. You'll see that the results populate down below. We have over 1,000 results for climate change. If you are just wanting electronic resources, on the left-hand side at the top under type of material, you would click electronic resources, and that would filter out anything that we don't have marked as an electronic resource. So once you've done that, you can see down at the results, everything has to do with your keyword. You can see this is from the Congress. Most of everything that we'll have on this subject is going to come from the US Congress, the president, the governor of our state, other agencies that are government agencies. So you'll see the links in each record. There'll be a preface of website, and then you'll have one or multiple links. Sometimes links break, so hopefully they all work. In the case where you have multiple, they should all lead to exactly the same thing. I wanted to then say, like, we have something from 1999 here. If you want to filter for a certain time period, you can do that, or you select your facets. So like you have years to choose from, and you can see next to each year how many items are associated with that year. So you can filter down certainly till you get only the most recent of things. So here you have, President Obama pledges greenhouse gas, international climate change assistance. You would click on this web link, and in perfect of cases, it takes you where you need to go. This goes to the Congressional Research Service. The Congressional Research Service provides research for our US congressmen and women so that they can make better informed decisions. And we all have access to all of the reports that they put together. So when you land on a page for this agency, you will have version history down here, and that's where you find the links to the content. And you can look at whichever version you want, and it will take you out to a PDF reader for those. So I'm going to go back to our catalog, and I'm going to say, maybe I wanted something a little more specific to New Mexico, and maybe you do and maybe you don't, but that's where you would build your search. You don't have to be case sensitive here. And then I just click go. So now I have new search results, only 32. And this is everything that we have marked for New Mexico and climate change. You can click on electronic resources here. Anytime you do a new search, you'll have to click electronic resources to filter down to just those again. My one warning on that is that sometimes things are not marked as available online, even when they are. And my example here is the potential effects of climate change on New Mexico. This is not marked as an electronic resource, but it does have a link out to that content. So I just wanted to let you know about that so you can look for that. You can conduct your search doing electronic resources filtered and then unfiltered if you're really worried about missing some content there. So that is our catalog, and that's how you search it for electronic resources and how it links you out. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. So this is a federal agency. We collect documents from them. We have some listed in our catalog, which will link you out to this page or subsequent pages of theirs. If you scroll down, you can see they have data tools, energy basics. They have their most popular publications right here. So you can look at what's being discussed by the subject matter experts here. If you're having trouble with, what you want to look for. The other way to look through their publications is through the research tab here. You go down to publications, and then you have this link to search their database. So we'll click on that, and it brings us to their search page. Up at the top, sort of obscurely, is their search bar. It kind of blends in, but there it is. You can also do an advanced search here, similar to that you see in our catalog and other resources. They also provide you with search tips on how to find the best, to get the best results. So I'm just going to show you, we'll just type in geothermal energy and click search. And here are their search results page. Here you'll find technical reports from them, conference papers, presentations, which as far as I can tell seem to only be the slides and not necessarily the voiced presentation for you. Here, in order to make sure you're getting access to online content that you can view fully online, again, on the left-hand side in their filters, you can click full text online. So we'll do that. Another indicator that it is available online is this little green dot under each entry, and that will tell you that you can view this online. So I wanted to just show you, because I'm looking at these things through Firefox on my Mac computer. When I go to open up something, here's a book, it tells me I can't open it, but I just click open source in a new window, and it'll take you to the content and you can proceed from there. And I think that is that for National Renewable Energy Laboratory. The next resource I wanted to direct you to is NASA's Global Climate Change website. I'm going to go back to the home. Oh, not that home. This home. Sorry about that. And on the home for their climate change page, they have this dashboard that shows you the carbon dioxide, global temperature increase, ice sheet decrease, etc. I think it has sea level increases. So that's really interesting. And the next thing down here, they have some basics about climate change effects and causes. But under this, under Explore, you'll see that there's a place to find images. So it gives you images of change. So what it looked like when and what it looks like now. And then the climate time machines shows you climate over a period of time. So you can scroll down and find that there, or you can find it here under Explore at the top navigation menu. Under resources there, you can find graphics and multimedia that you could add to your presentation. And then the last thing here I want to point you to is under solutions and government resources. They have collected here a number of agencies that provide information on this subject. So Climate Data Initiative, NOAA, the Resilience Toolkit. It's a nice place to have all of these things together for you to just start here and move outward. Just real quick, I want to mention that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has a climate change webpage, and they talk about, the conservation of wildlife during these changes, and I find that particularly interesting. So I just wanted to mention that site for you all. Going down to a more local level, let me back up here. The New Mexico State University does a lot of research for agriculture purposes, but they have a whole section of weather and climate publications. And I have that here. I'll provide the link for all of you, as well as links to all of the other sites I've gone to. This one in particular, because it's hard for me to find it. So I have saved it, and I will provide that to you all. And so you just scroll down, and here are the publications that they have been putting out over the years. And maybe some of those will be of use to you. The next local resource I wanted to point out was the Air Quality Bureau from the New Mexico Environment Department. They have a specific section on greenhouse gases and climate, how they deal with that, the sort of reporting that has to happen, regulations that revolve around, clean air. They also have a section on water and waste, so you can look at all of those. The last one I wanted to share is the Energy, Minerals, and Natural Resources Department. If you go to their search bar up at the top here, you just type in your keyword search and you hit enter, and they'll give you a Google search results page that is specific for their website. So everything on that result page will be on their website, and about the keyword that you put in. So again, if you're looking for more local information, that's a good place to go. And now I'm done, so I'm going to turn it over to Amy to talk about a few more resources.
Hi, I'm Amy Schaefer. I'm the New Mexico State Library's Southwest History and Culture Collection librarian. And I'm going to show you a few more resources that are going to be relevant to your class project on climate change. You can access them through the state library's homepage. Katie has already shown you this page, but again, it's nmstatelibrary.org. And the resources are down here on the right in a collection called El Portal. So we're going to open that. There's a lot going on here, and you're welcome to explore all these collections, but I think 3 are going to be particularly relevant to this project: the high school edition, academic one file, and opposing viewpoints. You search all 3 of these quite similarly, and the results will display similarly, but I'll go through each one of them at least briefly to give you an introduction to how to best use them. So let's start with the high school edition. Sorry, it's a little slow here opening up. So when you get to this first page, you have the general search bar, which is a fine way to go. You also have the option of doing advanced search. So let's just go ahead and do a general search to start out. So your results are always going to be displayed in the same way. You'll see them divided at the top here between publication type, magazines, journals, etc. And you can see there's quite a lot because we used a very general search term. So you can use the filters on the right-hand side to help you narrow down that search. For instance, publication date might be relevant, and then you can do a custom range. In this case, I'm just going to click past year and apply that, and you can see that takes us down considerably. You can also search within. So if you wanted to add an additional term like flooding or forest fire or something like that, it's going to search within all of the documents it had just pulled up for that exact phrase. You can see here that we have the filters displayed. So if you decided that search term wasn't working for you, you can just click the X and remove that search term. And you still have climate change by this last year filter. One of the nice parts about these databases is that they will default you to just showing articles or resources that you have full access to. If you want to take that off for some reason, you're very welcome to, but you're only going to see abstracts or summaries or just partial content in addition to the full text articles. So let's go ahead and look at one of these so you can see what they're like. You can read the entire article in your browser. You also are welcome to print it, download it, email it to yourself, or send it to a cloud service. When you go all the way to the bottom, you can see this citation, which is really nice, and you can actually change the format of the citation to suit your assignment. You could copy and paste it from here. You can send it again to one of the cloud services or to a reference citation software management tool if you use one of those. And then you can also send the entire article to yourself using these links up here. I don't recommend you use the highlight and notes feature because you're logging in not with a specific username and password. I don't think you're going to be able to access your notes again at a later date. So I recommend importing them into a different service or downloading the article before you do any kind of writing or work on it specifically. Another nice feature of these databases is that they give you some additional articles that are similar or some related subjects. And so those are worth exploring as well. So let's go back to the results. I've shown you the filters. You can certainly look at academic journals or news articles, and they're all going to display the same way. When you're kind of evaluating the quality of the resource, all the information about where it was originally published is here for you, so you can get a good idea of the quality of the resource. Though I do think Gail, who has created these databases, does a really nice job of including just very quality content. So the other option I told you was the advanced search option, and you can use that. It's going to result very similar. It's going to give you very similar results to doing the search within option that we already used in our last search screen. So you could, for instance, do climate change and flooding as keywords. This advanced search might be useful to you if you're looking for a very specific author or publication and you already have a citation for it and you're wondering if you have access to it through these databases. That would be a good time to use advanced search, I think, for this project. Otherwise, it's going to result in very similar searches to this search within. So really, whichever way works better for you is fine. So that's pretty much the high school edition. I'm going to go back to the general collection of El Portal resources and just show you really quick academic one file and opposing viewpoints. Again, you're going to search them similar. It looks almost exactly the same. One nice thing about Academic One File is it gives you the option of browsing a subject. So if you were looking for maybe additional keywords or other very related topics, you can browse this way and you just, keep kind of drilling down until you get to the level that you want. Otherwise, you search either advanced search or general search exactly the same way, and the results are going to show up the same way with similar citation tools, etc. The last I'm going to show you is opposing viewpoints. Though the search looks the same for this one, the kind of content in this database is different. So opposing viewpoints will have um, articles that are similar to those that you would find in an encyclopedia, and it also has writings by people who are taking a specific stance on an issue. So I just did climate change. You can see this all looks really familiar, except the categories are different now. So these viewpoints articles are going to take a very specific viewpoint on the topic. And then you'll see that there's reference articles. Those are the articles that are more like encyclopedias, primary resources, magazines, all kinds of different options here. Same filters here on the right. It defaults to full text, but you could limit it by date or even a more specific subject. And you are also allowed the search within option. So I think the content on this database is going to be different than what you're going to get on high school or academic one file. So I recommend that you do searches on all three. And you might find some overlap, but I think in general, you're going to find unique content on all three of those that are relevant to your project. So that's all I have for you today. I think that Katie and I just really want to say thank you for inviting us to share our resources with you. And please feel free to either use the Ask a Librarian button on your screen, on the New Mexico State Library screen, to send us any questions that you might have. And your teacher also has our email addresses. And I know I'm happy to receive emails from you if you have questions about how to use our resources. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Katie?
No, I just second everything that you said. I'm glad we had the opportunity to present these resources to you all today. And like Amy, I am welcome to receiving emails with any questions and in any way I can help. So thank you all so much. And I guess we will stop recording now.